Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses.
Hey, all right. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, this is Ed with Redneckanize Radio here. We're just kicking back, relaxing, and getting back to work. I'll tell you what, being over at the truck show, it really takes it out of you. If you haven't been there, never been that, it's something else. It's just nonstop going. And I didn't even, like I said, I was talking about earlier, I didn't even go out and see all the trucks outside like everybody likes to do. You know, seeing all the trucks that have been on TV or in magazines or whatever. I don't look at that stuff. I check out the products. I check out the people. You know, hanging out with the people, hanging out with even with recruiters. You know, they're good people. You know, they might not be shooting it straight sometimes, but they do their best. You know, and a lot of them are good people. You know, we met a few new ones in there and everything, and we also got to hang out with some people from CDLlife.com. You know, that right there is one of a great website that truckers should check out, and we're happy to know them and be friends with those people over there. We've even tried to contact them about reaching out because I told them, I said, dude, most of the stuff I talk about on YouTube or on our podcast is off your website. And in fact, I was just looking it up here. This is kind of interesting that a trucker sentenced to prison for hauling millions of dollars worth of cocaine. And it says and heroin for the cartel. There's pictures on it too. They've looks like they got a bunch of different stuff here, cash especially. You know, it says a truck driver has been sentenced to state prison after he was caught with millions of dollars worth of illegal drugs in Pennsylvania. It says on Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, Texas-based trucker Christian Ochoa, 29, was sentenced to 7.5 to 15 years in state prison. Ochoa was convicted on 2 counts of each of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance and criminal conspiracy, and 1 count of each of dealing in proceeds of unlawful activities. You know, it's funny how they name these laws. It's like, you know, 1 count, 2 counts, and all this is because they just created new laws and changed the names of them is what I think they did. I mean, why can't you just throw him in jail for having illegal stuff? That's just pretty much what he did, you know, is he had a bunch of stuff that wasn't supposed to have. So, you know, that's illegal, you know. It continues on here. It says firearms not to be carried without license and possession of a weapon. It says... See, that's the thing. So that's part of the law is proceeds of unlawful activities, firearms not to be carried without license and possession of a weapon. So they just included all that into the law of illegal activity. I was like, well, isn't that what illegal activity is carrying a firearm without a license if you're supposed to have a license? You know, I mean, it's just silly the way they name these things. I think it's so funny. So he's so the truck driver here and a co-defendant, a California resident, Edith Thomas Rodriguez Cardenas. Got a lot of names there. 28 was arrested on January 29th of 2021. So that's in January 29th, 2021, and they're just now getting sentenced. That's pretty quick, actually. It says the incident leading to the arrest began when the officer with the Bedminster Township Police Department noticed Ochoa was swerving while behind the wheel of a rented Jeep Wrangler in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Rodriguez Cardenas was a passenger in the Jeep when it was pulled over. Following the search, police seized fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine found inside the Jeep. Looks like there's another picture. It says the drug seizure led police search the tractor trailer owned by Ochoa, which was parked at a truck stop in Lehigh County. Police found an additional 8 kilograms of fentanyl and 1 kilogram of heroin inside. It says in addition to the 19 kilograms of drugs, the 2 searches led to the recovery of more than $43,000 of cash, a handgun, 6 cell phones, additional drugs, including almost $29,000 in Percocet pills, and 4 Jesus Malverde candles, known as the patron saint of, I guess, narco traffickers. This is Bucks County's authorities said. That's pretty funny. It said the Bucks County District Attorney's Office said in the news release that the value of the seizure was $5.6 million. He says later, the truck driver later told police that he had been directed by a contact in Mexico to drive his semi-truck to the location in California and leave it unlocked, then to deliver the package to Rodriguez in Philadelphia. It says, according to the Bucks County Deputy District Attorney Megan Strichter, Ochoa transported and delivered the drug, while Rodriguez kind of facilitated the transport of the trafficking of the drug and was the money broker in the organization. She is allegedly a member of the cartel Ochoa was working with. And they got her arrested. They got a picture. They got a bunch of pictures in this one. You know, usually CDL Life, I tell the people all the time, they direct you to the actual article in somewhere else. This is a whole write-up. Got the pictures and everything. It says Rodriguez was also convicted of 2 counts of possession with intent to deliver controlled substances and 1 count of each of corruption, organizations, criminal conspiracy, possession of a small amount of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and sentenced to 8 to the 8 to 16 years in state prison. A little typo on that, must have been pretty quick. Like I said, CDL Life, they're not about really the news. They take the news and they put it on their website so that you'll go to their website, and then they put a link to say this is where we found it. It's kind of like what we do here at Redneckanize. I'm not out there interviewing people and trying to get the scoops. I just pull up what I see on the internet and just kind of tell you guys about it. I'm not trying to pull one off on you. A lot of people just don't know where to go to get the news. Some people like to mix the news up with different things, and that's what we do here. See, this article keeps on talking about it. I mean, it's like he's from Texas, she's from California. Jesus Malverde, the patron saint of narco traffickers, was not looking out for them in Pennsylvania, but thankfully the police were. District Attorney Matt Weintraub said. Says thanks to great police instincts and hard work, these two will now be residents of the Pennsylvania state prison system for the next decade or so. Well, there you go, Pennsylvania taxpayers. You guys got a Texas resident and a California resident in your prison that you're going to be serving 3 square meals a day to. Good for you, right? Good for you. You're gonna pay for their meals and probably all their legal assistance and everything for the next 10 years. So as a resident of Texas, you can have them. I tell you what, that's so funny. We were doing Facebook Live, and then I put a song on, and Facebook's like, "Oh, you can't play that song on here." I was like, "Why not?" It's not like it's the whole part of the video. It's a small part of the video. It just ticks me off when they do that. But anyway, thanks to everybody here at Redneckanize, this is what we've been doing, is this great platform that we've just created here in the last year, and we're going to continue to expand on it, and we appreciate everybody's support, especially support from Load to Ride LTR Transportation. That's Load to Ride Transportation. Those guys over there, they were big supporters. You saw them at the truck show. If you were at the truck show, you hung out with a couple of people from LTR, and they had stuff over there passing out. They were giving the good information about their company, and they had some cool little knickknacks, little footballs and hats and stickers and wristbands and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool to see them guys out there hanging out, and we appreciate all their support and everything, and we look forward to dealing with them in the future. And that's LTR Transportation. You can check them out at ltrtransportation.com. And like I said, they're they're not small. They're a pretty good sized carrier out of Denver, Colorado, and they do everything. I mean, it's like one of those things where they have a lot of customers that they deal with regionally, but they do have stuff that, like, they've got a customer, that's maybe in Denver that says, "Hey man, I got to send something out to Virginia," and they're like, "Yeah, well, no problem, we'll take care of it for you." And then you think about it, well, what do you do in Virginia? How do you get back? How do you get the driver back? How do you make money? And they'll go out and they'll find freight, and they do the same thing that all these other smaller carriers do, is they'll go find a broker, and the driver, whether it be the company driver, they actually talk to the customers. And it's one of those things where it's almost like a next step in evolution. If you're a company driver now, and let's say that you're working for Schneider or somebody like that, or Swift or something, and you want to take the next step toward maybe even becoming an owner-operator yourself or whatever, check out some of these smaller carriers that you might not have heard of, where you've got to kind of be more into getting things done yourself, as far as talking to brokers or talking to people. And and it's one of those things where you learn a whole lot more. You learn a whole lot more about the industry. And LTR is one of those where you're going to learn. You're definitely going to learn. And you there's a lot of things going on in the industry that you, as working for one of these big box companies, might not know about. So it's a big deal. So check those out, ltrtransportation.com. And we appreciate them for supporting Redneckanize. And when you talk to them, tell them you appreciate that too, because we do appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here and talking about more what's going on in the news.
Yeah, I gotta keep it rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, I'm looking for a sunny day. Truck stopped cute and coming on to me, tried to talk me into a ride, said I wouldn't be sorry. Oh, but she was just a baby.